progressive overload works. So if we do let's say 30 kg on incline dumbbell and we do that for 6 reps, and then the second set we do 30 kg for 5 reps, then the next week we do, so let's just say week 1. The next week, if we do 30 kg for 7 reps, and we do 30 kg for 6 reps, this is progressive overload because the reps have gone up. And mind you, this is if we're training to failure. So, like that 30 for 6, you couldn't have done any more. And that 30 for 7, you couldn't have done any more. And then another way that we can progressive overload is if we had 30 kg for 6, 30 kg for 5, and then the next week we have 32 kg for, let's say, 4 reps, and then 32 kg for maybe like 3 reps, whatever. This is also progressive overload because the weight has gone up. So progressive overload is if the weight goes up or if the rep goes up or both. So progressive overload is a byproduct of your muscles getting bigger and stronger. A lot of people will just do like random weights each session, and you need to track your progress because if your weight's going up, the reps not going up, there's two things. Okay, firstly, it's form. So people get form wrong a lot. So what they do is as the weight gets heavier, they cut range of motion. They're not even using the target muscle. They're trying to like bounce it, cutting off the eccentric. They're just not having good form, and then they're going up in weight and wondering why they're not getting bigger and stronger. Then you get to a point where like you can't progress anymore. So when you're not progressing, first thing to look at is our form. Also, another thing is if you're in a deficit, it's going to be a lot harder to build strength compared to when you're in a surplus. So when you're in a surplus, you're gaining weight, you're probably eating more carbs, probably have more energy. Another thing is keeping variables the same. Like if you had 4 hours of sleep one day and then you train versus having 8 hours of sleep one day and then training, obviously it's going to have a very different effect on your strength because there's a lot of factors that goes into how strong you'll be like every day. So main thing is make sure the weight and reps are going up every session. It doesn't have to be like completely every session, but for the most part, on like most exercises, like a row, a tricep push down, tricep overhead extension, a bicep curl, you should be trying your best to progressive overload every session. And no, if the weight and reps don't go up, that doesn't mean you haven't built muscle. It just means you got to look at all the external factors and see what's going on. But when you're new to lifting, you should be pretty much progressing like every session. Once you've been training for like quite a while, then it starts to get a little bit tricky. But yeah, that's pretty much progressive overload summed up.